Hello, everyone. My name is Kyle.
I'm Alex.
I'm Rachel.
This is Tony.
And we are Pseudo Adults. Welcome to episode 211 of the Pseudo Adults podcast. We are back. We are
Stronger.
wearing clothing this time.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Not naked.
As naked this time.
Oh, me.
I mean, listen, if you write us letters, if you feel, if you prefer us any which way, we are your Ken dolls.
Whoa, dress up like Tarzan.
And you can find this podcast anywhere that you find podcasts in the audio format. And if you want to watch us, become a YouTube Space Zamboni channel member for is this still as buck as a month of root?
Low price of $1.
Yep.
Always $1 a month, baby.
100 pennies.
Yeah, count them.
Take it to the coin store.
And if you do that, we're on camera and you can see us.
See us naked. Well, we are naked.
Yeah.
Not this time though.
Maybe next time.
Maybe next time, Gadget, next time.
Hopefully soon.
Maybe on the hub.
Be on the OnlyFans.
What if we just AI remove our clothes and see what AI does with our bodies?
Like it's the question of like, how does AI think we look underneath our clothes?
Then our nipples are like down here.
But why wouldn't you want it to just make you like a six-pack? Tell it to do that.
Each six-pack has a little nipple on it like a dog.
Isn't there something along the lines of like, I mean, if you were to take your face like and your neck and be like, finish the image, it probably would assume that you're wearing an outfit. So you'd have to like have like your shirt down
Like
to,
super
like,
low,
here.
like
Yeah.
Oh, a deep V.
So the AI would assume that you're not wearing a shirt. Maybe you're in your bathing suit or something like that. So I think that's what we would all have to do.
Yeah, this sounds like a fun experiment.
It would probably still put us like in a deep V neck or something. Like, oh, stupid AI. All right, what's going on with you guys? What's happening? How's life?
What's happening?
It's life.
Life is life.
It's life, and
Yeah, life in it.
Small talk. Completed. Yeah. Cool. It's one of those weeks, huh?
Yep.
It's very muggy out. It's like it's fall now. The leaves are starting to change. Our moods are starting to change.
True, yeah.
I like it.
You like it?
Mm-hmm.
Like us all falling
Favorite
over.
season.
Falling down.
Oh, it's my favorite.
Yeah.
I have become more unstable during the fall
Yeah,
season.
I love it.
What happened to you?
Oh, I don't know. I think I walked in a tornado or something.
And like,
Too
this
soon,
might
too
be
soon.
a tornado.
I'm definitely in a whirlwind. Or maybe it was a dirt devil, a dust devil, whatever they call those. A baby tornado.
The old dirty dust devil.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, one of those baby tornadoes like you see at the park and stuff like that.
And then you
That was you?
Whoa.
That was him walking in circles.
And I'm like, oh boy, I'm not going to be stable until December. Oh boy.
To the end of December.
Yeah.
Like, it has
Yeah, that's a
into
long time.
January. And then you're like, oh, everything's back to normal.
Oh yeah.
I can't wait for the season where nothing happens. It's just great.
The Seinfeld season?
Like after December, after like all these holidays, it's just nothing.
Yeah, that's
the
the best
greatest.
part. You don't have to worry about buying gifts or buying big birds to put in an oven or
These
hams.
next 3 months are my bankrupt months.
Whoa.
Like these next October, everybody's birthday is November, a lot of birthdays also, and then December, Christmas. And I'm like, my 3 broke months, and then broke is relative. But
What if instead of buying gifts, you did acts of caring for these people instead? That was a legit thought that I had about, like, I mean, either like for like family members that like, like you got to get something for a birthday. Like, what if you painted a wall of my house? What if you fixed up something about
I'll
my...
do an act of kindness. So
Yeah.
as long as you pay for the
Because
materials,
those are...
I'll do it.
Those have value. Probably hundreds of dollars of value.
Yeah, like,
You can
what if
always
you
look at
finished
this wall
the
and
hit
think
on
I
that guy
painted
that your family member wanted.
Oh, I mean, what
act of
person?
It's your love language. It's active service.
Yeah.
Yeah, speaking of which, Tony, what would you like me to
my
whack
wife?
for your birthday?
Let me think. I have a list.
My wife.
Oh my God.
My wife.
I don't No.
I don't know. What do you think?
Well, Rachel, your birthday comes first. Who would you like whacked on your birthday?
Oh my
You gotta whack them before they whack you.
The old game of
Does
whack.
anyone have some like a coin to flip?
Head to tails, and you flip it, and it's both heads. Heads, he dies. Tails, I die, and it's both him. Two-Face.
Yeah.
I am Two-Face. Heads to tails. I guess it's not your luck.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of Batman villains, has anyone seen the Penguin show
Yes. Oh yeah.
yet? Oh, okay. There's only like 2 episodes out so far,
They
right?
teased the Dong showing.
They teased the dong.
Oh, Penguin Dong, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we're supposed to get Penguin Dong, but we didn't get it.
We didn't get Sling the full thing. We
Oh.
only got like the rest of his body minus the dong.
Did he get a gabagool? Did he go get gabagool?
He got a lot of different things. He got like a burger and then was like,
I only extra pickles, and they only gave me 2 pickles. I
This
can't
sounds
believe this
amazing.
place.
know, right? Yeah, so I was saying to Matt while we were watching, I was like, I thought a Penguin show would be us watching him get a sandwich, watching the sunrise, and then hanging out with this little kid.
yeah, that's
shooting his
pretty
own
much what it
talk.
was.
Quite a show.
And
The
then
life of Diddy.
Does Penguin have enough going on to have his own show
No.
I don't know.
I mean, I don't think
without
so.
Batman? And
Like, what? He's just a gangster.
But Batman's around, right? Because this is a sequel
No.
to. Oh,
He's around. He just never shows up, I guess.
not well, when I say not physically around, but like the lure. I don't know. Like they're like, oh, he could come out. I don't know.
That's a good question. Did he even mention
Last
it at
week he was
Not
at
so
the
far.
bodega.
all? They don't even act like he's in the town. And also, Gotham's kind of clean.
Oh my God, yeah, Gotham is impeccable. I guess all of that water
Yeah,
washed
power-
away all the
Power
scum.
washed it.
Yeah.
Well, what's funny is Penguin gets out of the car. He's like, "Look what that fucking crazy guy did to this city."
And it's just like a pristine
Yeah.
street. Also, Gotham's New York because they take a train to Queens.
Okay.
Yeah, and to the country.
Yeah.
And they called it Queens.
Pretty much. It was like a step removed from
Oh
calling
my
it Queens.
God, yeah. And then he went to his mommy's house.
Yeah, we saw his mom.
Okay.
Not Penguin Dong, but Penguin Mom.
And they spoke Sicilian. They didn't speak Italian.
Now,
Oh.
why looking at me?
Just doing the look around.
Do they say any of those offensive
They
shorthand
sure
words?
did.
Uh-huh. They went, eh.
Oh my gosh!
I know, that's the worst Sicilian curse ever.
So you tell me Penguin Sicilian?
I guess if he's speaking it, I
Something
guess
like
he's
that.
got to be
Okay.
in.
I don't know. So
And then his ex-boss that something happened to had a huge gap between his front teeth. And it bothered me.
Specifically, personally.
I felt like I was going to get sucked in every time he opened his mouth, but I didn't.
the wind tunnel.
Yeah. I was like, no. It was scary.
At least the show scares you in that aspect.
That's true. Yeah.
Is there a plot that they're introducing for the show, or just Penguin's just living his life trying to be like, I need to take over this horribly clean city?
I think so. I think that's the spiel.
All right.
It's kind of weird because a lot of the show is like Penguin just doing his day, and then even the part where it's supposed to be the drama, like they're clearly trying to do a Sopranos kind of thing.
Yeah, it sounds like it from what you're saying.
Yeah, because he's like he wants to take the power, but he's also like he's a huge idiot because like the excuses and lies he's making up, it's like so dumb. And then even the Falcone daughter girl that he's talking to, the
Big eye.
excuses he's making to her, he's
Big
just like,
fish eyes.
Yeah, well, I only knew about this drug plan because I don't know.
I was like, oh my god, he's an idiot. Wow.
Is there humor to the show, or
I feel like there is.
so it is basically The Sopranos, except men in fat suit?
People went and put The Sopranos, like cuts of The Sopranos, next to this, and it looked very like. Even some of the scenes look very like familiar. They were like, "This is just." They went, "Oh, The Sopranos is a good show. What about if this was Penguin?" Like,
It says it sounds like. I thought it was going to have a little bit more of like a plan. Maybe it does. The thing I think I've started piecing together because I've been watching The Sopranos for the first time. I'm almost done with season 4 at this point.
Has anything happened?
Yeah, something happened in the last episode.
Okay.
That where it was just sort of like you wait. It's almost like I don't know if it's like the pro of the show or the con of the show or like of the time. Like I watched the Wire on HBO, and The Wire was a really unique seeming show because it almost seemed like characters living their lives in like Baltimore, and they were just like, it was the cops, and then like the drug dealers or the people addicted to the drugs, the kids of the people going to like the difficult school systems there and stuff like that. And you're just like, it's almost like a documentary, except people are acting, and they're not really these people, but it almost just seems so slice of life. But you realize this is what they're trying to convey. I thought it was so unique, and then I started watching The Sopranos, and I realized that's kind of what The Sopranos is too, except they're Italian goofball stereotype characters that have that extra layer to them. But it still feels like they're just going about their days, where some things might happen, and some people might yell at them. Some random person might be in the wrong place at the wrong time and get killed for a certain reason. And then more or less, I guess there's like mini story arcs sometimes where like they build up to something. But the last episode I saw, which I won't spoil for anyone who hasn't seen the show yet, was straight up like they've been introducing a drug problem for a character that's been there since the start. And I was straight up just like, the show just like doesn't address the issues. They're just going to be like, yeah, he's doing this drug, and it's just going to be like in the background, and then probably next season he won't be doing it anymore or something like that. But thankfully, something happens with him related to his drug problem that's kind of like you can't foresee it happening because it's so like random, like wrong place, wrong time, but direct results of being high that they straight up have like an intervention for him afterwards. Like they all like team up on him, like they all cry. And he's like, "Why is this? What are you all doing?" And then he starts like saying the dirt on everyone.
Oh wow!
Because he's like so upset that everyone's teaming up on him.
Did you get to the episode? I've seen clips on TikTok a little bit of it, where the mom in the retirement home, the one of the guys that's not, it's not the main guys. It's like one of the side characters' mom, where he was like, it ends up being, no spoilers because I don't know the guy's name, so it's not really spoiling it.
Yeah.
Where it ends up being like he's adopted, or like his aunt is his mom, and he's like, "What the hell? I've been paying for your shit this whole time, and you're not even my mom." Not even my mom.
That doesn't ring a bell.
Not yet. You'll see.
So I'll see who's adopted, I guess. But there is a character whose mom is in there, and she doesn't look that much like him. So that would be funny if that's like a next season thing. but the thing that they did with there's a character who's played by. I just know like faces. I was like, like the bald guy in The Matrix who was just like, this steak, it tastes delicious, but I know it's artificial. That's the only thing. He's in The Sopranos. He plays a character named Ralphie. He's very, he's got a lot of charisma. He's not a good guy, but none of them are. He does some really horrible shit to introduce his character. Be like, okay, so it's gonna be hard to root for you, but he does have he does bring like energy, personality, and like toxicness. I don't know, like anything could happen when he's around because he's like such a violent outburst type of guy. There's an episode this season where he calls the old folks home and talks to one of not Tony's mom. Tony's mom is unfortunately the actress passes away like after seasons 1 or 2 or 3 or something. Another character's mother that's in an old folks home. And what does he say? Oh, he pretended to be like a police officer at the local jail or something like I don't know how to tell you this, but in fact I feel like I can't even repeat it on the podcast.
Oh my god!
I mean, it's like, we found your son. He was doing something unspeakable with I think it was like with like an animal or something. Or maybe like with a minor or something. And she was like, he would never do that. He was like, I don't know how to tell you this, but and he starts like making up all these like legal, when you say some things like subsection this, the charter. I don't know. So she's like, oh my god, my boy. I don't know. And then I think he finds out that someone did it. He assumes it's that character. He's like, I'm going to kill him next time I see him. And Tony's like, you don't kill one of our guys, okay?
You just feed him gabagool.
Yeah. The thing with
then took him in for bed. And put him back and eat the guy.
They give him a little kiss on his forehead. Like, all right.
He learned his lesson when he wakes up. Nothing will be the same. Gabagool for life.
Kiss on the forehead.
You gabagool, you'll never stop eating gabagool. It's a curse.
The thing about Tony Soprano's character is he just has such a soft spot for animals. He loves animals probably more than humans, and I remember he had like a therapy session like this season where he was talking about an animal again, and I was just like, oh yeah, it's like the beginning with the ducks. It was like the first episode. He's like, the duck story is full. He's like, oh, look at those pretty little ducks. I guess they have like the innocence of life that he doesn't have, or somehow however wanted to look at it. and then the therapist in me was like, it's like the ducks when we first met. They have the innocence that I was like, oh. I was like, oh, I got it. So yeah. More to come on that. But when we talk about mafia-adjacent things, that's my point of comparison. So
Makes sense.
I can't.
The whole point of comparison.
I could definitely only watch one of those shows at a time. I'm not going to be like, no, let's watch Penguin. No, let's watch Sopranos.
I got to say, Penguin is hour-long episodes. I think it was like an hour and 5 minutes, and that could have been a solid 30 minutes and done because there's so much walking and taking the train. They make a point of showing like the handicap seat, and I'm like, oh, Penguin's standing and looking at it. I'm like, he's trying to say he doesn't have a disability, so he's just looking at the seat. And then they cut to him getting off the train. He gets out of the handicap seat. Look, what the fuck was the point of showing the seat? Like, it made no sense. Oh, and they address why he limps.
Oh, really?
And oh boy, is that reason like
ridiculous?
Yeah, because
Okay.
now I can't view him without thinking of what his actual issue is, and it's just so strange.
Oh boy.
I thought he would have like flippers. Like,
Yeah, that's what I was kind of hoping.
Yeah.
It's the Penguin.
because that's why that would make sense why he's looking at the disabled seat because technically he's disabled.
Can I say why? Do you guys mind? Can I
Do, do we guess?
Yeah, you can guess.
Okay, go ahead.
Since he's just a walking like fat joke because he's a man in a fat suit, I'll say he's like so heavy that he should be one of the people using the rolling chair at Disney World, but instead he just walks around with a limp.
I'm gonna say he tripped over a whole bunch of gabagool. And Batman helped him up, and he went, "You did this."
Oh my god.
That's what I'm gonna say.
Now that'd be too interesting because that would involve
That'd be
Batman.
a lot.
True.
That'd be good.
Matt, what's your guess? Oh, you saw it.
Yeah.
What would have been your guess?
His feet are pencils.
All pencil foot.
He has a fake leg.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the actual reason is that he's just got too many toes on one of his feet.
And a bunion.
Toes?
Yep. He's got like extra toes on one foot.
He's got like 20 toes on his right foot.
I'm confused.
Like 20 toes on his right foot.
He's got like
The reason why he was
two layers of
called the
toes.
Penguin was because he had flippers. Like
Yeah.
that was the whole point. Is that like he was born with fused together. Like
Just too many toes.
Yeah. Yeah. So he's got like shark mouth toes.
Do they call him Penguin in the show?
No, they call him 10 toes.
18 toes.
A million.
Why is this show called The Penguin?
That's why my dad likes it because it has nothing to do with the penguin. Probably.
Or he likes the 10 toe thing.
Yeah.
He's like, oh,
My
that's
dad's like,
really-
it's a really good show. It has nothing to do with the comics. I go, I hate to break the news to you, Dad. I was like, this is a comic book show, regardless if you say it is or it isn't.
Dare I say they also made a show about Penguin already? It was called Gotham?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That's all I had to say.
I guess they thought they could have done it better.
The thing that I thought I heard was controversial is, these modern days, it's, you get blasted online if, you can't have, you have to be the appropriate race to portray a character, maybe even the appropriate sexuality to play a character. Otherwise, it's seen as not authentic. It's seen as maybe even offensive. But apparently playing fat man could be done by skinny men in suits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
Family Guy played in on that. They had an episode where they cast some famous actor as a fat man, and he's like, there's 100 million fat men. You could have just cast a fat man. Instead, you want me to teach this skinny guy how to be fat.
Dang.
Remember who it was?
I don't remember.
It was a famous actor that he was like, I'll teach you how to be fat and made him obese.
that sounds familiar. Is it Family Guy?
He was in Family
Was it
Guy.
the James Woods episode?
Was it James?
I don't
think
remember.
it was
I've got James
Wood.
Woods.
Was it? No, it was the guy who played Batman.
Oh, Robert
Patterson.
Yes, it was.
Something. He taught him how to be fat
Mm.
and made him obese, and then they said, "No, you play the character Peter Griffin." So yeah, and he made a fats petition where like all these fat people got together and petitioned that they shouldn't make a skinny guy fat. Probably had something to do with that.
Like Colin Farrell in this show, I think the only way he could keep the prosthetics on is by scowling. By doing like this thing, really pissed off. Because
he does it a lot.
He does it the whole show.
Oh.
Even when he's naked, and you could like, it's so strange because there's definitely parts where I'm like, he's just gonna.
When he's in the deli?
When
Or when he's with the little kid.
90% of the show, surprisingly.
He's naked 90%.
Nah, I'm just kidding.
So he's naked with the little kid when they watch the sunrise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just like the original. Well, it's time to eat my sandwich now.
Yeah.
He takes off his clothes.
Got too many pickles.
Half of the pickles are just underneath there, and he's like, there they are.
Here's my extra pickles.
You know, I just can't separate. I can't separate the penguin from the 90s.
The Batman Returns.
Danny DeVito.
Danny DeVito from Penguin. Like I can't separate like where he ate fish with the penguin. I went, you eat burgers too? What?
That's what we were talking about when we were watching it too. We're like, man, this feels weird that he's just ordering like a pickle sandwich when he should be eating like fish and being weird. But
Maybe it's the Velma show. He's gonna
Become
gradually.
Whoa.
Like
He's gonna fuse those extra toes into a flipper.
Dang, that'd be crazy. Or he meets the surgeon from Tusk,
Okay.
Then what?
and then
Then they have a nice dinner.
Yeah.
And they go home.
they have a nice dinner. He turns him into a penguin. He feeds him fish, and then the show begins.
Oh, okay.
That's
But the credits will roll, and that'll be the end of the show.
pretty much. You won't get to see much of the penguin. That's for the second season.
Oh,
is it going to be a thing where it's the last episode where they actually call him the Penguin?
Yes.
No, he's been like called the Penguin in the Batman movie.
Probably.
Think about that.
Yeah.
That sounds good. Okay, so I guess more to come on Penguin as someone keeps watching it, perhaps. All right, so I'd say the most recent release that you guys saw, I think we're talking about here at the top of the episode, would be the new Transformers 1 movie.
More like Transformers fun.
Yeah.
That movie was fun.
Everyone saw it?
Yeah.
But me?
Whoa. Oh, sorry.
That's okay. No, I heard it was a well-received...
it was big. It was good. I mean, like, I'm not a Transformers person, so I walked up being like, it was good. But I don't like Transformers movies. So
and
whatever.
that's not open to negotiation?
It's only because, like, I know some guys were raised Transformers shows. Like, it's a very boy-centric, like, scene.
Yeah,
Like,
it's robots that turn dope cars.
Yeah.
I don't-
There's a female robot,
Yeah.
and she was a main lead.
Yeah.
you like this? I still don't. I said, you know how you're not interested in a lot of things I watch? And Tony's like, yeah. And I went, I'm not interested in Transformers. I'm interested in everything, but Transformers, I didn't like it. Like, I'm just not like into like action, like a big explosion.
Did you enjoy the film?
It was animated. It was nice. I almost fell asleep during certain parts, but I liked
Well,
it.
you also woke up at 5 in the morning.
Sounds like a B minus C plus to me.
It was good. It was good. I'm just not interested in the plots. And then when the guy showed up, I went, "Is that the bad guy?" I don't remember who the bad guy.
All these robos look the same.
All these robots look the same. That's exactly like it's like somebody with barely any knowledge of the Transformers movies. Like we went in and saw the animal one.
The
Rise of the Beast.
Rise of the Beast, yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, it was a movie. It was good. It was a movie. I'm not like again. I don't know the lore. I didn't watch any of the shows. I'm there, but it was good. Like it was a fun animated movie. It was good.
What everyone else think?
Yeah.
I liked it. I thought it was a very cool way to introduce. It's a very cool way to introduce the the origin. No, chat. I didn't get to see it yet. I thought it was
If you become a super, if someone becomes a super member, they could be on our Pseudo Adults group chat.
yeah.
Our group text.
I thought it was
Done.
All right, moving on.
I thought it was a cool.
Done.
I thought it was a cool way to introduce like the origins for Optimus Prime and Megatron.
That was the whole point of the movie, right?
Yeah. I thought it was a cool way of doing it. I thought it was a fun movie. Like it had the humor, but they also allowed it to have serious moments, which I didn't expect from the trailers. I thought it was all just going to be a goofy ride the whole time, but it wasn't. It was actually really good. Yeah. I thought that was really cool. Seeing the origin of Cybertron and like how Cybertron started out. and like the origin of the Transformers, what it means to be a Transformer versus like some of the other characters who couldn't transform, and like why they couldn't transform. I thought that was all cool lore that they added to it. I don't know how much of it was actually from like the original Transformers, which parts are like added, but it was cool to see, and I wonder what that means for like other characters like Unicron and stuff, because he's also a planet that's a Transformer. So, and they also didn't really explain where that original Transformer came from too. So, I wonder if
they gotta do the prequel to the prequel.
They could, I guess, but like it's just it's kind of just like, oh, this is their Transformer god, I guess, in a sense.
They would already have the name. It'd be called Transformers Zero.
Whoa.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah,
there we go.
And -1.
Oh. There you go.
That'd be great. The movie just keeps
Going backwards. Yeah.
Sounds like an imaginary
franchise.
movie.
Yeah, Transformers -5 was fucking sick.
Optimus Prime's great grandpa.
But I thought it was cool. Bumblebee was a fun character. He was really funny. But yeah, no, I enjoyed it a lot. What about you guys?
Yeah, so my main thing is I took it because I really wanted AJ to watch it, you know, and that's like the main reason I wanted to go, because every other time I saw the trailers for this movie, I'm like, oh, this movie's gonna suck, because it was very like silly looking and like kiddie. And then after the movie, Gianna tells us that apparently there's a warning to not take your kids to this movie because it's more adult than it appears to be from the trailers. I mean, there's definitely like ripping robots apart. There's
some cursing.
Yeah, a little bit of cursing. I mean, his Bumblebee's catchphrase is just cursing.
Wow, it was awesome.
Yeah. So it's like I thought it was way more fun than I thought it was going to be. It was way better than I thought it was going to be. And at the end of the movie, I was like, oh wow, like a Transformers movie without people is solid. Hopefully, they realize that
That's
they can
true.
keep doing
It kind of is the Transformers movie that everyone's been waiting for.
Yep. 100%. What about you, man? What'd you think?
I loved it. I like that they allowed the flexibility of F-bombs to be said by Bumblebee. But he did say bad acetron quite a bit.
Badass.
The dead ass.
That would have been awesome. He's like,
What was Bumblebee's catchphphrase?
it was dead ass cool.
It was dead ass.
I'm badass at trying.
Yeah, but he would
I
say
wish
it-
that's actually the
Yeah, he said it a couple of times. And he's like, it said like badass atron.
Yeah. He would change his voice to say it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Super funny.
Was there any foreshadowing of him like, I love my voice. I'll never lose my voice.
Sort of, yeah. There's a moment in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just wondering.
I like that Bumblebee had a little family that he made himself because he's been in.
Oh my
That was
What
so
was
funny.
it? The Section
Steve
50.
Yeah, Section 50. And they thought there was only 40.
Yeah. His job was to watch the trash burn, essentially.
Wow.
Yeah, just pick out stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
when he
Stuff
burned out
that's-
his helmet, I was like, oh man,
Oh, yeah.
up his own helmet.
Yeah, that was sad. It was funny because he's all intimidating with that helmet on. He's like, "Oh yeah, that probably seem really like crazy, be coming at you like that." But oh man, yeah, no, it was really good. And then seeing the actual like planet itself, all the
Cybertron.
yeah, it's just like changing as they're like moving and everything.
Yeah.
It's
Wow.
pretty cool.
This sounds like a very creative movie.
The CGI is awesome, and the fire when they were blasting it, like real fire and everything. CGI is like
CGI, but real fire.
real fire.
Real fire, yeah.
They did real pyrotechnics. They called up Rammstein, and they had them hook everything up. Yeah. Oh, I forgot about that. I was like, well,
He's coming after us.
I feel the heat.
Matt, move out of your seat.
Wow, this 4D's crazy.
We're watching it in 1D, man. You gotta get out of
One Direction? Whoa. I didn't know they were there. The whole movie was awesome. It was like, I feel I liked it a million times better than any of the ones with Shia LaBeouf. But I kind of want Shia LaBeouf to be in the sequel. Just to be like, oh, we're finally here.
Transformers 1 to just Transformers.
You say they just pick up like where they left off timeline with
Yeah.
the Transformers movies
Except
with
he's a CGI monster.
Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah, he's not a flesh and bone monster.
And all the
like he
robots are
normally
real.
is. Yeah. Oh, man.
But then you're gonna have to tell the movies in between of how we got there.
That is
You're
true.
creating another like franchise within the franchise.
And then Megan Fox is there with her giant thumbs. She's like, I love the Transformers.
I swear you just said Mega Fox.
Mega Fox. That's what they turned her
Transform and roll out.
into. They give her some energon, and then she turns into Mega Fox. Yeah. They're like, eat this.
Eat these energon cubes.
You will become Mega Fox.
A purely energon.
Yeah.
They go straight to my ass.
Well, I'm sold. Sounds like a fun movie.
It's awesome. And then what was the other thing? Oh, and the bad guy in the movie reminded me of like Freak and the guy from The Boys. What's his name?
Oh, Homelander.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
He was a robot.
I was like, is that Homelander? Is
Yeah.
that him?
Even the colors and like the wings.
Yeah.
Wings were sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. Tasty movie.
It was a movie.
All right, good deal. Okay. So Sonic the Hedgehog account's been very active lately.
Yeah.
And I guess they're just like, if Shadow had nipples, they'd be milking them like for all he's worth.
Yeah, like they're doing now, but it's good.
On the other day that we watched.
What was on the other day?
Announcements.
There is this
Sonic Central. Yeah.
Sonic
Sonic
Central.
Central.
Yeah, there was like this half-hour long promotional Sonic video.
Yeah.
Like, we're doing this with Sonic and Shadow. We're doing this with Shadow. We're doing this with Shadow. We're doing this with
This is
Sonic and Shadow.
Here's some more. Here's 3 Sonic statues. I meant Shadow statues. 3 extra ones that look exactly the same, but they're a little different, so you have to get them.
And Shadow Generations or whatever.
Yeah, Sonic X Shadow Generations, but really everyone's there for Shadow Generations because that's the new part of the game.
Yeah, and obviously,
Yeah,
Everyone. Everyone's there for the empty game. Everyone's there.
yeah. And then they showed this clip, which a 6-something
They're
minute
gonna add more to the
episode has since come out, where like a very like legit looking anime type of show.
it was awesome.
Like, where did that come from? Do you know, or they're just like, the heck with it, let's make it and put it on YouTube?
So I think so. Alex and I, when we showed our parents it, AJ picked one of the older ones, which was like the Werehog Halloween special, and we were talking about it. We were like, oh, you know what? Like, this doesn't really advertise the game at all. They have ghosts in here. They have nothing to do with the game. And then I was like, oh, well, maybe this is where they started coming up with the idea of having prologue animations before the game, because they're like, oh, well, this one came out after the game and didn't really sell the game. If we make it before to advertise the game, it'll probably work better. So I think that's when they started doing it, because then they did it for Sonic Mania. They did it for
Sonic Origins too. Yeah.
Yeah, Sonic Origins, Sonic Frontiers.
Yep.
They did it for. Now they're doing it for the Shadow game.
Okay.
Well, Sonic X Shadow Generations. But I think it's a really cool way to catch people up, because there's probably fans now that don't know about the like Sonic Adventure 2 and stuff like that. So this is a good way to like reintroduce them to the character of Shadow and show like all the lore behind his character. And I thought it was really cool to have like Emerald in there from Sonic Battle. And like just add all these different elements, because even in Sonic Battle, if you read like the journal entries from Gerald Robotnik, he talks about how he found Emerald, and that he created Emerald based on like something he found with the Knuckles clan or something like that. I forgot all the exact details of it, but the fact that they're putting that as canon now, the fact that the moon is still blown up and that's canon, and like all these different elements is cool to see. And I'm excited to see what they do with Shadow, because Shadow has the most backstory out of all the Sonic characters.
Wow.
Yeah,
I mean, think of how simplistic the Sonic universe is, and all of a sudden they're like, they're in space, and there's this space station, and Maria. And,
there's a disease, and there's an alien.
And then why does he exist? Is the perfect life form, but he's just like Sonic on hovering roller skates.
Yeah. With the blood of an alien.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, so it's cool to see them actually like continue with that, fleshing out that backstory.
Yeah.
And I think the other cool thing too is like, so that whole thing is really cool. And they said that if you get the game on PS5 as a digital deluxe, you get an extended version of what this is going to be. So there's going to be extra scenes, I guess, that they're not going to include in the YouTube channel, but which I'm sure somebody probably would get it and put it on YouTube. But I think it's a really cool thing for them to do, and I'm excited to see. You guys saw the trailer too, the story trailer for Sonic X Shadow Generations?
No, I did watch it, but I don't remember what was special about it.
So what I thought was cool about it was like Mephiles is back, which was really cool, and then but also what it looks like they're trying to do with the storyline, where Shadow's in like that hub world, like white space area, but you see Maria and Gerald Robotnik because time is displaced, and now he can finally see them again. And so then, like, the story, I think the story is kind of going in the path almost like Flashpoint in a way, where it's like, well, they're gonna have to die, and they're gonna die, and it's like, are you going to try to change the past because now that time is all displaced, or are you gonna allow them to meet their fate? I think that's gonna be, if they do it like that, that's gonna be very like what do you call it? Like an emotional storyline to it, which I think would be really cool for his character.
Yeah, they need to do more stuff like this for the other characters.
Yeah.
I keep wanting to play as Tails in a freaking game. And
They need a year of Tails, bro.
Yeah, I was saying the other day, I'm like, they had Year Luigi where Luigi got like 70 games.
Yeah.
And we can't get like only Year of Shadow. It's like, what the hell, bro?
Yeah.
They're working on more Tails lore.
Yeah.
Besides,
They need they need to add like more lore to these characters.
He's a deformed fox.
How do you learn how to be a mechanic? Where did he? What trade school did he go to? I want to know.
That would be the fucking Tails game we get. It'd be like Tails goes to trade school. Oh, great.
That'd be awesome. And it's like a party game. It's, you get to learn different tricks of the trade.
There's like 6-foot high ceilings, so you can't even fly.
Oh my god! Yeah. It's all like compact fluorescent lighting.
Yeah, you haven't gotten your master.
Yeah, you haven't gotten your certification. It's like him trying different trades before he settled on like mechanics.
Coming soon for iOS.
That'd be the best. I want that game now.
That's why I think like when remember we made that YouTube series of like, this is what would be a cool like Transformers like game, because
You mean Terminator?
yeah, that's what I meant, Terminator like game, where we were saying like what would be cool backstory for Tails is that he does almost like a Tony Stark, where he tries to build like Ultron kind of thing, but it'll be like Tails creates like Fox and like this AI or this robot that's supposed to like help them in missions and stuff, but then becomes the bad guy. So then it's like Tails built the bad guy, and now he's got to go and like, I think that would be a really cool like story for him.
Right.
But
Giving up.
Or he built robots.
well, it's on YouTube. It's got like I don't know, a couple 100,000 views on.
If you could shoot Marie in cold blood 45 times,
Yeah.
Tails could build a killer robot.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And Sonic could get his GED finally.
Yeah.
More important. High school. He's always on a run. He didn't even finish high school.
Even in the damn Tails game, there's got to be some Sonic story. Sonic's got to get his GED in the Tails game.
I feel like there's a little bit of like, Knuckles obviously wants to drill baby drill.
And Knuckles goes into construction.
Yeah.
Tails is trying to come up with like different means of like renewable energy. And Shadow's just like, I don't know, he's like solar because I'm in space. I don't know. I mean, what you're saying, the Tails story, that could happen literally any point in Tails' life. Like, he could be like, now that I have the means, this is like a mid whatever. Like, yeah, I created a crazy villain to take care of.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'd be more interesting than Robotnik again.
I know. Yeah.
Right,
Exactly.
the same recipe.
Yeah.
Except Sonic Unleashed, where they're like, well, no, it's the Earth.
Yeah. It's Gaia. Yeah.
Just make a cool story. Dude.
Yeah.
Stop beating around the bush.
Exactly. But yeah, there's that, and then you guys saw the DC Sonic collaboration. You guys saw that?
Yeah, I showed you the picture. The one with Knuckles as Superman and Shadow as Batman, Tails as Cyborg.
Yes.
Yeah.
The promotional thing I saw the Shadow Batman thing, which was like, that works perfectly, but I didn't see the other one.
Other ones. I showed you the picture too. Is that your? Yeah, it was very.
Does he
It's
raise
just-
his hands?
Yeah, he raises his hands when I take a picture.
So the cover is awesome.
When I take a picture,
To take a picture.
Yeah, but so it's gonna be so during the Sonic Central, they're like, oh, it's a year-long deal, and then they're like, oh, but hold up, it's a 2-year-long deal.
Oh, dang.
And it's and Alex brought up a good point. He's like, you're the ones showing us that it's a year-long deal. Why are you making a big deal that's a 2-year deal? Just say it's a 2-year deal.
They're like, they literally say, and another surprise.
Yeah.
This deal is going till 2026. It's like, you just said it's going till 2025. Why is that a surprise?
Yeah.
It's like, don't act like it's a big reveal. You just thought, this is just announced.
they're withholding information
Yeah.
for a second.
Yeah, but it's cool because because they're already like they have merchandise in Target with like Shadow as Batman.
Boom.
And so it's gonna be cool to see them what they're gonna do for these 2 years. I hope that it leads to like an animated a movie like they did with Ninja Turtles and Batman. That would be really cool.
Them in multiverses, goddammit.
Yeah, that would be awesome too. Yeah, I'm interested to see what they're gonna do because the fact that they already started out with merchandise that's already available makes me think they probably have like a lot of other plans with this kind of stuff. Which is really cool.
Merch you have to do in advance.
Yeah, exactly.
You already have to have it prepped and ready for shipment and stuff like that. For it to already be on store shelves, it's like this has been in the works.
Yeah.
So excited to see what else is like already behind the scenes. Just hasn't been done.
Right. Yeah,
Definitely.
it seems a little random to just leave it at close and that's it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And the fact that they started the teaser with an animated little thing.
Yeah, that's right. Cool.
Yeah.
Who's Sonic playing in this scenario?
Oh yeah. So Sonic is Flash. Knuckles is Superman. Why? Knuckles Superman. Amy's Wonder Woman. Tails is Cyborg. Shadow's Batman. And Silver is Green Lantern.
Wow.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Dope.
Yeah.
Good for them. They're doing plenty. All right. I guess since we are all still watching it, we'll cover the latest episode of Agatha. Episode 3, spoiler warning if you haven't watched it yet.
Had enough time to watch it. Let's go, guys. Enough time.
I like it more than The Sopranos, I have to say.
Makes sense. Kitty's dead.
Yes, I hope that's a lie.
Seemingly.
Yeah, seemingly, yeah.
Can't believe that they forgot all about it.
I kind of called it. I said brutally, which she wasn't brutally. She just kind of...
Poisoned to death.
Yeah.
I forget exactly what happened. She just kind of like falls unconscious, right? She doesn't like...
It's because of the wine.
I remember, but... Well, she didn't like die screaming. She didn't die like in agony. She just
Also,
kind of like goes to sleep and
I
doesn't wake
realized
up.
why she died. She drank the wine way earlier than everybody.
everyone
And then
else,
they
yeah.
set a timer going, this is the time. I went, for you or for her?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're rushing like it's for you. It's for her.
Yeah.
But I think her time, she died a lot earlier. They just left her there.
Yeah.
Dead now.
Yeah, they were all focusing on it, and then she was the last one they forced to drink it. But yeah, glad that they committed to something. I mean, we'll see if they commit to it. But
Yeah.
I think it's a way that they're going to bring in what's-her-face into the girl that doesn't like Agatha.
Aubrey Plaza.
She's a green witch. So they're going to, that's how they're going to bring her, even though they could have just done that all.
since they need to have a certain number,
Yeah.
Yeah.
7, 6.
I think was it the number or was it that they needed
a
each
specific
type of witch?
type of witch.
And they consider her the green witch, even though she was not a witch at all.
No.
Okay.
She just grew a garden real well.
But Aubrey Plaza wants. Oh, I guess she wants to kill Agatha for reasons I don't remember.
You
Yeah.
mean people
Or
are
no.
calling her mommy? That's what people are calling her online. They're
Who?
like, mommy,
The-
mommy.
Aubrey Plaza
yeah.
character?
Yeah.
Even though she's
they're-
younger?
Yeah. They're saying she's the goth witch mommy. That's it.
It's a term for like, ooh, yay,
Yeah.
mommy.
Yeah, like people find
Yeah,
her hot.
People
Yeah.
find her hot.
Yeah.
Mommy of the Agatha.
We briefly talked about what you told us, where she's like a lot of people's gay awakening.
They said this is people's second gay awakening.
Second.
Like
Second.
second.
Who's the
gay
first one?
awakening. A lot of people have gay awakenings for like their like cartoon characters when they're younger. They call it their gay awakening. This is people's second gay awakening. These are people's like real life gay awakening.
Return of the gay awakening.
Like green, like a lot of people have the Pink Power Ranger. A girl even made the Pink Power
song,
Ranger
yeah.
song that talks about her gay awakening with the Pink Power Ranger. Yeah.
Even though she's not gay?
No, it doesn't matter.
Oh, it doesn't matter if the character
Yeah.
is gay or straight. It's the person.
It's how you
who's
It's the person
realizing,
who's
yeah.
watching it, realizing they're like, wow.
Oh, they find
Yeah.
that person attractive. They're the
They're-
same
they're
gender
gay
as them.
Right, yeah.
Oh.
That Ralph
Yeah.
Wiggum scene.
Yes, that. Yeah.
That is my gay awakening.
Wait, he said I'm gay now? You're like,
Awakening.
me too.
His awakening was the Pink Power Ranger.
Yeah, but that wasn't a gay awakening. It was just a
That was
straight awakening.
I am very straight.
Yeah, I guess.
That was I am very straight.
I'm a very straight male.
I
But
really
my theory is that every episode they're gonna kill another one of these witches.
yeah.
Until it's just Agatha and Teen. And then it's going to be like, oh, well, this is also part of the trial, and they're not dead.
So I want you to give me a rating on who you think that kid is, like percentage of like all the theories that people have put out? Like
That's her boy.
it's her son, or it's Wiccan,
Agatha.
or it's Jesus Christ.
It's Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ.
I'll vote for that one.
I was always doing magic all along.
Whenever I need the name, it's gone.
Marvel
Richards
Jesus.
and his wife's kid.
I think that is like 0%.
I know. People are saying because that would start the next phase that they're going for, because he has to be involved in that phase because he reboots the universe.
No, but so that the Fantastic Four movie's happening in a different universe.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't think it makes sense for
It
his kid
doesn't
to
make
be in
any
this.
sense.
Yeah.
I think people are like, why wouldn't it be Wiccan? He was wearing the symbol of Wiccan at one point during the whole thing, which I didn't see. I just read they were like, he was wearing the symbol that is his symbol. So why wouldn't it be Wiccan?
And they brought up
also,
Mephisto.
he's a boyfriend too,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
they brought up
Finally.
Mephisto. There's no way. And they also said that, well, then again, it could be her son because they don't know who the dad is, but the dad has to be, they said, has some demonic stuff going on. So people theorize that her son, like in the comics, her son, it might be the dad of her son might be Mephisto.
So
But-
I think it's like a 50-50 toss-up
Yeah.
between it being her kid if they want to be super obvious, because they were literally like, well, her kid is God. And they,
that's a ruse.
yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, well, you can't say his name. You know.
Yeah, because I think she put that curse on him. Agatha did. And so she couldn't find him or some stupid shit like that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's her kid.
Well, then she brainwashed herself.
Wouldn't she remember that, I guess?
Yeah. Who knows?
Because I feel like it may be, because I went into a very deep rabbit fucking hole yesterday about this. People said that it could have been Wanda doing that, putting a
Sigil.
sigil on him so that Agatha couldn't find him when
The
he's
kids.
outside. The kids
Yeah.
outside of that.
Yeah.
But then again, I was like, then in the movie, then why would
She go out of her way to try to go to a different universe to find her kids.
Yeah.
maybe it's a different universe? Maybe we're looking at it from a weird perspective. But I also heard a side theory that it's not a theory. People actually said in that horrible Doctor Strange movie that she's in, that she makes eye contact with a boy, and people said that when she said, you would risk this all for a kid that you met yesterday, she looks at a kid, and they said that, well, not kid, she looks at an adult, and that adult is actually the kid that Pietro saved and died saving, is that kid that's with Doctor Strange.
Wow.
I know. They said that's why she made eye contact with him when he said that, because he saved a kid he didn't even know.
So that was like a deep Marvel Easter
I
egg
know.
that no one even was like, yeah, that was that kid.
Yeah. I don't know if that's real.
So what happened at the end of it was at the end of WandaVision where Wanda's like going through the dark hold and then she hears like the kids cry out, I guess seemingly in another universe or something like that.
Yeah, I
And
guess
that was like her motivation to do something.
Yeah.
So it's like what I would like to think it's probably not right, but I would like to think that, you know, WandaVision, I felt, was just like, let's set these characters up for greatness. And then the Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness writer was like,
just kidding.
yeah, I'm a killer.
Yeah.
And just, you know, I'm going to just slam that. So now I feel like this is the same creative team, like showrunner behind WandaVision doing Agatha now, right? So it's like, okay, let's try and do I'd like to think this is like, let's do the building blocks of like getting back to where we were with that misstep.
I also have a really good theory. Maybe Wanda's not dead. Okay, let's just theorize that she didn't die.
Yeah.
And she actually was able to find a way to get at least one of her kids, because they should both be there if he's able to like put himself into another body. But let's just say she did that, but she sent him because she felt because he's the one that took off the curse.
Yeah.
So he had to go after. But how would he know that she was there unless somebody told him what Wanda did to her, because nobody knew what was happening, right?
I don't know, because did the other witches
they
know
just
that?
said she was acting strange. That's all they said. The neighbors didn't know. The only
Well, then
person
Aubrey
that would know
Plaza
that
didn't-
Wanda did that was Wanda.
I think
And
Wanda's a
whoever
big
she was
potato.
around. Yeah. No, what I'm saying is like,
I always like when the shows make you like, you know, make you wonder about stuff like that. I'm still waiting for the show that just like you get to episode like 8 and then there's like a big screen that comes up, be like, we run ourselves into a corner. This show's over. We don't have any answers.
Oh, so She-Hulk.
I love that. That was the last episode. They're like, we don't know what.
Yeah, so they just cut.
That's literally She-Hulk. That's what happened
Really?
to She-Hulk.
Well, that is how She-Hulk ends.
Oh, but they actually came out and they read that on the script. They're like, yeah, we all know.
Well, basically, it was she jumped out of the screen and it's like, it was like, why is
her
this?
bottom?
It's in the Marvel like writing room.
Yeah.
And you're like,
And she's like, why is this show going this way? Like, why is this stuff happening?
Yeah.
And so they basically did do that.
Yeah, but that was the character. I thought that worked.
That's
for
the
that show.
excuse of the character. But
I think they had to come up with an excuse for her to jump out of the screen.
I think they use that to say, oh, we effed up with this show. I don't know what to do.
I thought it was funny. I liked that show. I thought that show was fun.
I want more of that show.
But my thing I was gonna say is, did you hear the guy who did X-Men '97? He originally pitched the Multiverse of Madness script, and it was gonna be Wanda and Doctor Strange fighting Nightmare across different multiverses, and then at the end something happens that starts to cause her to turn to the other side.
Oh,
Yeah, and I was like, oh, damn it, that's like much
sounds
better.
cool.
yeah, that sounds much better than what we got. Pizza
And
balls.
the only thing that his script had is that it was at the end of the movie, she was gonna accidentally, like how she accidentally blew up what's his face, that guy from Captain America in Civil War. She put him in the bubble, blew him up.
Oh, Crossbone.
Yeah, and then it like blew up the building.
Yeah.
She was gonna accidentally behead Wong,
Oh.
and that was gonna be like the big like, oh, what the hell of the movie.
Oh, wow.
I was like, man, that sounds like crazy.
Intense, yeah.
That sounds
That's
cool,
awesome.
but oh well.
Yeah.
All right. The sigh of
If only
disappointment.
that guy didn't potentially do something really unspeakable.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Too bad his writing is good.
Yeah.
Too bad his muscles are good. Writing's better.
Muscles and writing.
Yeah.
If only he could give that to me.
At least it's it's a interesting show, and we'll see if they get there. But your point before about like if they were to kill off one of the witches each episode, I could kind of see that happening a little bit because this last episode introduced like backstory for each of them. So now if each episode gets to sort of like it would be a little formulaic, I guess, just to be like, let's complete your arc and then axe you at the end. Then all of a sudden, like, oh, I can't wait to see how this one dies after learning all about them. But
It reminded me of an escape room.
that's what my wife said while watching it. She was like, "This is an escape room show."
Yeah. And that aspect of it, I was like, oh, okay. In the movie Escape Room, what happens? Each room, someone at the end dies. Right.
But you think now what's going to happen is she's going to get all the way to the end and then like has some kind of redemption arc and then wishes them all back like Dragon Ball?
Well,
Yes,
I think
pretty
much,
the
yeah.
Dragon Balls.
Yeah.
because I think there's going to be some aspect of it of like, oh yeah, well that's part of the trial is to like see if you can down the witch's road if you accept like that it's not just you or some stupid thing.
Yeah.
This is like New Testament witches,
Right.
not like vengeful God Old Testament witch.
Exactly, yeah. Down the witches, down the witches.
Down with the witches.
Let's get down with the witches.
If they sang that would be awesome. That's how they had to get down?
Yeah, for 15
For
minutes.
50 minutes, the whole episode.
Get down with the witchness. All right. So you guys watched a rather new movie called
The Prinkle Prick.
What?
The Prinkle Prick.
I don't even know what you're saying.
Oh, correction. I saw the TV glow.
I know.
Yeah,
That's all
Yes.
I think
That
of the fucking movie.
If you watch this movie, it's going to be burned in your brain. The pink opaque. But that's how they say it. They're like the pickle prick. Yeah. The pickle prick.
And he says it so many times.
Yes.
In the goddamn movie.
And you're like,
What is this movie about?
So this actually came up on I almost watched it last night. In fact, I watched the
Yeah, I was
beginning.
looking at it
I watched
too.
the beginning of it, and then I was like, "Oh wait, is this the movie that you guys were telling me about?" Because like it's got an interesting poster on Max. It says it's a horror movie. It's a new release, and the beginning of the movie, not horror, but it's like a really charming like scene with like a kid in a school playing with that thing where they raise the thing up in the gymnasium. And it just seemed like it's filled with like wonder and whimsy. And then the movie all of a sudden felt really, really boring. And I was like, oh, I think this is the one that you guys are telling me about. And then I saw Justice Smith from Detective Pikachu. And I'm like, oh, I'm turning this off. So how was it?
Oof, it was a slog.
Yeah, so my issue with this movie is that deep underneath this movie is an amazing movie.
Mm-hmm.
But it's deep in there because there's so much like slow, long shots, boring stuff. Everything lingers. It's like crappy. I don't want to say. I guess crappy filmmaking, right? It's just because at the end of the
Artsy.
They're stretching it out just for the sake of like trying to make it feel artsy.
yeah,
Like a David Lynch kind of thing.
I think so.
yeah. I would say because it is Twin Peaks-esque.
I've never seen Twin Peaks. I just know like other stuff of his, but yes.
Because once they showed that TV show they were watching, remember, I was like, oh, I think this is like supposed to be like Twin
And
Peaks.
Goosebumps. That's the thing that I liked about it was that they had a lot of homages to the shows that we watched when we were younger. And you could definitely tell like the person that made this movie had like a real fondness for that time. Like Goosebumps, Are You Afraid of the Dark? All that stuff. But that's where it ends. Like that's where the charm ends is you get little snippets of like the show The Pink Opaque, which they say a bazillion times. That if I swear, if you take a drink every time they say it, you'll be blasted. You may have alcohol
We
poisoning.
could say it from now to the end of the podcast, and we wouldn't say it as many times
Yes.
as they do in the movie.
Because you have multiple people saying the Pink Opaque.
What did they say?
The Pink Opaque.
The Pink Opaque?
Yeah.
Single pig.
The Pinko Panko.
That's what it did end up to us watching it, just saying the Pinko Penko.
But yeah, so it's got our Detective Pikachu man. Turns out, what is it? He had a past life where he was a part of the Pink Opaque. So the Pink Opaque is the real life story of his life, where he was previously a girl with a friend that was a girl, and they had these powers that they were trying to like stop this Moon Man.
Yep.
And the Moon Man looked pretty neat. That was a weird part because he like drugs them up and everything, and then he's like, I'm gonna bury you. And then they have like a new life, but like they're still alive because he steals their heart. Really out there stuff.
Yeah, but it sounds very creative.
Once that part comes in, that part's creative and that's interesting. And that's where we're like, oh, all right, this is cool. I wish more of the movie was that. Like, that would have been awesome.
Yeah. But wait, I'm confused now. Wait, the Pink Opaque.
Yes, the Pink Opaque show was the real life
Was
of...
the real life?
Yes, the real life.
Past life.
Yes, it was a past life kind of thing. So now he got thrown into a new life by this moon god guy that's evil.
Yeah, trying to trick him.
Yep.
So who made the show The Pink Opaque that knows?
Moon Man,
So,
kind of, but
The Pink Opaque in this world is like
a memory or something.
it's like a memory. So it's like, you know, when you watch a show and you have like that nostalgic feeling of like watching an old show.
Yeah.
It's like it plays on that a lot. So yeah, so the whole thing is like them watching this show, but they don't realize the show is basically made up of like, hey, this is your life. Hey, this is your
It'd be like you guys are watching like Reboot, and then it turns out that was actually your past life.
Yeah, like we were watching Reba, and all of us were characters from Reba.
Reboot.
Now we were all like, hey, hey.
oh my God, I was Barbara Jean.
Oh my God.
Got it.
So that would be this movie, yeah.
But wait, but that still confuses me because I mean somebody made a show based on the life of somebody they didn't know.
It's not a it's not
It's
a past
so-
life.
yeah.
Rules of this movie, I guess.
Yeah, it's the rules of this movie.
It's not actually a past life. It's this. He got the moon juice.
Yeah, the moon juice that was blue, and it was shot into his mouth, and it dazed him
Yes.
and confused him.
So it's basically like, you know, when you fall asleep and you have like a dream and you like live a whole lifetime in that dream.
Yeah.
It's like
Never happened.
oh, okay. But it's like that where he like this thing that he's experiencing is from the moon juice, and it's giving him like this a different view of life, and in order to like get out, he has to like wake up and get out of this world.
Yeah, it's kind of like a Matrix kind of thing also.
Yeah, but it's played off in like, once again, if the movie was shorter, if it was like more concise, it was played off in a cool way. And it's like you're not sure if like the person telling him this is telling the truth, or if it's like
like somebody's having a psychological breakdown or something.
Yeah, because the person he watches the Pink Opaque with is also edgy and like going through it too. And it's like it does tackle trans identity, because the way the whole even that first tent is like the trans flag colors, and in that other life, Justice Smith is a woman. So it's like it's so cool, but it's like a 3 out of 10 for me because the movie sucked.
You think if somebody made a fan cut of the movie, it could be better?
Oh,
probably, yes.
Yeah, I think so.
But I could definitely see why people like this movie. I just find it too artsy.
So it's like everything that you need in the movie, there's just too much extra shit. So it's like you can just make the 20, 30-minute version of it. That
studio made this?
A24.
That makes sense. All right.
But there are movies...
You were waiting to hear it?
Yes, but...
Because Ghost Story was the same way. It was
that-
very cool, but the execution was like...
Yeah, we just watch a girl eating cake for 30 minutes.
We just watched a guy in a
sheet.
Yeah.
walk around and watch people.
Yeah.
The Ghost Story
Ghost Story with
was one of their
Casey
first
Affleck.
movies.
Oh, I remember you guys talking
It
about
was
it.
very artsy, and I get where they were coming from, but because it was so slow,
Yeah. I watched.
you just watch a ghost go like this on a wall.
I actually watched an A24 movie also, which I didn't know was A24. Civil War.
Whoa,
That was
yeah,
A24?
Yeah.
Oh.
How was it?
So it was my expectation. I thought it was gonna be like Independence Day. I thought it'd be like, get a load of this crazy shit.
Yeah.
So it was a little bit of like expectation versus like what the movie ended up being.
It's like a small portion of the West Coast, right? Like California and like one other, and Texas or something weird like that.
Yeah, I was afraid someone was going to ask me what were the factions of the Civil War because I still don't know and understand. Really? I mean, the movie probably explains it, but it's not just like one side versus the other. There's like the Western side. There's like the Carolinas and Florida seceding, and then there's just like the United States.
Oh,
and there might even be like like another one. But that doesn't really matter so much. The important thing is everyone's trying to kill each other, essentially.
Okay.
So you asked me what I thought. I thought the movie was okay. I thought that there's it reminded me a lot of some of the stuff that you guys have been talking about. It reminded me a lot of like the movie that you just talked about. I saw the TV Glow. It also reminds me a little bit of what you're saying about Penguin, where I think there's really interesting scenes and there's some tense stuff. There's some tense scenes within the movie, but a lot of it felt like it's just sort of like, let's dwell on the moment. Let's show some long shots of them just like walking around in this post-apocalyptic setting. It almost felt like The Last of Us, and I don't know, I was trying to think of like what to combine it with. Just like it's like the Purge. It was kind of like, it was a lot like The Last of Us. If The Last of Us was just like let's
focus on law.
Let's just like
just walk.
Without the zombies. Yeah. There you go.
I feel like A24 is definitely like an artsy. I get it. I get where they're coming from, but like execution, like it's great for you to be artsy, but you need to entertain.
They have good movies. I'll say.
It's hit or miss if you get like a really good movie. You either get really good movie or not good movie at all.
Yeah, it's the movie Talk to Me.
Yeah.
Oh, Talk to Me was good.
good.
Talk to Me.
That was sick.
Pearl was also
Pearl was
good. It's like hit or miss. It's like a gold mine.
Oh yeah, Maxine is streaming. Sorry.
Maxine is streaming. Yeah.
They take chances, right? That's like
They
what's
do.
special about them. So it's like, you know,
they hire directors that aren't like super well known, which is nice of them. I like
making they're making the next generation of big directors. So
which is nice.
But I think Civil War is a movie worth watching. But if you want to know like what it's about in short, the movie this sounds kind of funny because they're like, oh, this is how the world works. Kirsten Dunst is the main character. She is a member of press. Like she's a photographer with her camera. Yes.
She's a photographer with a camera?
Yes.
She's Peter Parker?
She's in New York City at the beginning of the movie too.
Or Jimmy Olsen, or
Yeah, I got hung up on that. I was like, she's back home. And for some reason, I mean, everyone's just like, I guess you got to be like vetted to be pressed because they'll just leave you alone. Both sides will not kill you unless you're just like straight up like in gunfire and you get hit by a stray bullet. Like, no one's going to intentionally try to kill you for the most part. If you are just like, their van says press on it, their outfits say press on it, and they got the camera and they're just like taking pictures, literally of people getting shot and killed. They're like,
wow.
It really is like mimicking the Civil War.
and they're just documenting it literally as it's happening.
Wow.
And there's this younger girl who was like, "Oh my God, you're a celebrity to me, and I want to be just like you. I got my daddy's camera." And then her whole like story arc is like she understandably freezes and locks up when there's violence going on, and she's like, "I didn't take one picture." So it's a lot about the press and photography.
That's really interesting because the real Civil War, actually, the reason why we now vote on to go to war is because of the Civil War, because photographers came in and took pictures of all these dead bodies during like Gettysburg, and people were so like horrified at like just how many people were dead and like the state of how they died that we made sure that it was like, no, it's the people's choice to go to war now. It's not like the government's choice to do it. So that's interesting.
And it seems like kind of like The Last of Us, they're gradually making their way towards a city, a location to do a thing, and you just kind of like follow them along on that path. So there's a lot of like scenery and long shots and people just walking from one place to another place. And I was like, oh man, this movie could be shorter. So
We need that fan cut.
I did my own fan cut watching it. I assure you that there's this one there's a lot of scenes that just kind of like, it almost feels like it's like the conflict comes along and it's just like for the sake of like, let's add some spice to this movie, even if it's just like shows how the world is, shows adds a little bit of a difficult challenge for the characters or something. Everyone's favorite actor,
Ginger Head Man from Breaking Bad.
Exactly. He's in one of the better, more tense scenes of the movie because he's good at playing those types of characters. I have to say, like I guess it's probably all he plays. And come to think of it, he just plays like I could do something super violent at a moment's notice type of character. And he's just like, I think he was sort of like, I'm not on any side. I'm just like, I don't know. It's like, if you're not American, I'm going to kill you, essentially. So it's like making people like, it's like, show me your birth certificate. It's just like, where are you from? It's just like, are you American? And if they are either like, show any signs of not, like, you may shoot them and kill them. But I watched that scene and I was like, in real life, that actor is married to Kirsten Dunst. So I was like, oh, they're in a scene together. Yeah. This is so sweet. So even that scene, I was just like, oh, look at them playing together.
That makes me think of
playing pretend. I'm gonna kill you.
Where's my money now?
And Nick Offerman plays the president with his voice. I'm my fellow American. So wants a mustache, right? Yeah.
Finkel pig.
Pinkle pig. Pinkle pig. Pinkle pig. I feel like there wasn't enough pinkle bacon.
Yeah. That would have been awesome if they just sprinkled that into this movie. It's like, this is what's going to be coming out.
Yeah, right.
There should be a counter of how many times you say pinkle pig in this.
There might be. The internet's a magical place.
It is.
Pinkle pig.
Pinkle pig.
Pinkle pig.
All right, so what's what you wish for? What you wish for?
Oh, so crazy movie. It's actually a culinary movie. It was pretty interesting. I got to say, this was way better than the Pinko Pig. Technically the first part was kind of like a slog, but then once it picked up, it was like juicy.
It was really good. So it turns out I was putting AJ to sleep while the boring part was happening. So I walked in, and the movie was good the whole way.
And you really didn't need that part. You could honestly have just come in and just be as knowledgeable as...
Another fan cut?
Yeah.
I was a little confused.
Oh, okay.
That's okay, because we were as well about like the reasoning behind this. So, because it really was just this guy meeting up with his friend in Spanish country, like villa kind of thing, and lo and behold, the guy ends up having this really nice job, supposedly, and the guy's Nick Stahl is like, oh man, like I would love to have a job like this, like kind of thing. And then his friend kills himself. He doesn't know why, so he commits suicide. And so the guy ends up kind of like talented Mr. Ripley, like getting his life pretty much.
Wow.
So he took over his friend's role as the chef because they were both in the culinary field, but the main character owed a lot of money to somebody that we're not really sure of, but they were going to kill his mother.
Yeah, they took pictures of her, too.
Yes, they took a picture and they're like, "Mommy,
Oh.
this is your mother."
All
And so the guy needs to pay $50,000. And so lo and behold, his friend's gone. These rich people come in and they're like, "Oh, yes, you're going to cook for us, right?" And he's like, "Well, I need to know a little bit about the job and like how much am I making, or at least like can you loan me money for the meantime before like this job's complete?" They're like, "Oh, sure. How much you need?" And he's like, $50,000. And they're like, "I poop that out in a day."
Oh, okay.
So they wire the money, and then lo and behold, now he's like obligated to proceed with this whole deal. And do you want the spoiler?
Sure.
They cook people, so they're a rich group,
Okay.
and they end up murdering like one or two people every couple of months. It seems like the guy. Yes. Yeah, apparently every 9 months, so they're kind of like a weird short-term Pennywise kind of group. But they get these crazy chefs to make extravagant meals out of humans.
Oh.
And so it's like an exotic eating kind of group, and they're all rich, and they all get private jets and everything, and they travel around the world and do this. So they go from like the Spanish country to like Africa to wherever. And this person's kind of like obligated to show up at every single location and perform the same thing. And the other thing that was like the kicker of the movie was that if he makes one bad dish, they were going to kill him.
Oh.
So his debt's paid off. His mother's fine. If he does a good job and completes it, he gets the additional $250,000 because they pay him $300,000 for being the chef for the evening.
Wow.
And he's just got to do like a 4-course meal. But then the other really interesting part is they wanted to jump in.
Yeah, so the town part with the...
Yes.
Yeah, okay, so the thing is that they go through apparently it's the same town like every 9 months,
Yes.
at least for this place. And I guess they get to like request the meal they want. So they ask for 2 cuts of meat, which is 2 different people. So they're going through the town, and they actually like find this guy. And then they run into the police, which I guess is like the first time they actually ran into the police. And it basically, they're like, okay, well, you were here. This guy is missing. And you spoke to the police. So what the hell's going on? And it turns out it was like this detective's nephew.
Oh. Yes, so now the detective's at the house the whole time.
Yeah. And it was like, so for a thriller movie, I got to say, I was actually like, God damn it, just let this guy cook the food and be done.
Yeah. Oh, man, yeah, there's a lot of, like, people popping in and staying uncomfortably long and making the moment really tense. Yeah. And then it's like, all right, what's going to happen now? What's going to happen to this person?
Wow.
And then, like, people are messing up with this whole dinner. Like, that one rich guy that's like, oh, because the detective... he invites him to stay. The detective already tells everybody, like, oh, I'm looking for my nephew. Don't know what happened to him, but you people were kind of like the last people that were in the same village that, you went to church in and whatnot. And so he's like, oh, I'll wait. And he was originally just going to speak with the 2 guys that were originally scouting out the people that they were going to kill. But then this Asian guy, as they're leaving, he's one of the millionaires. He's like, oh, why don't you stay?
Oh,
and
man.
they're like... what are you doing, guy? And so he's like, oh, okay. If you insist, I'll stay for the remainder of the meal.
Oh, wow.
So, and he's actually eating the food too. So he's actively eating his nephew during this entire meal. Yeah. And he's like, oh man, this is amazing. Like, what's this meat? This is really good.
This movie's fucking nuts. And that's something I kept saying throughout the movie.
Yeah.
This movie's fucking nuts.
It's crazy
Wow.
movie. And so the millionaire's reasoning for inviting him to stay is because he cheats on his wife. So he's like, you know what? This is why I cheat on my wife, though, because, it's the thrill of getting caught. She doesn't know about it. And that's what would make this meal taste even better for everybody here, is the thrill of potentially being caught.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's funny because the Imogen, which is like one of the girls that's helping like host the dinner, she's like, what are you doing? Like, you're going to have this guy sit here. And he explains that to them. And she's like, yeah, but the other guests don't necessarily want that. He's like, I'll make them want it. And then he sits down and he's talking about like how risky it is to be like doing the way they do it. And then they're all kind of like, yep, we're on board. Like,
wow.
Yeah, they turn on a dime.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Yeah. It was like, it was a cool movie. It was crazy.
It's fun. There's definitely a lot of twists, a lot of turns. And even up until the end, the ending part kind of is like strange because like, what's that mean?
I got it afterwards because I was sitting down. I was like, oh, it's like him accepting it because he even introduced himself as Jack. He wasn't like, oh, yeah, I'm Ryan. This is the thing. He's like, no.
Oh, yes, because the guy wants his job now. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. Now I appreciate that, yes.
Yeah,
because I was too
like,
dumb brain.
Yeah, no. I was the same. I was like, what the hell is this? What's that? That's weird. But yeah, no. I was like, oh, okay. I get it.
Interesting.
It sounds like overall very positive. It was it sounds like it didn't drag or anything.
Only at the very beginning, but maybe it's important. I'd say give it a watch. It'd just be like, oh, that was all important.
It's a Hulu movie, it looks like. Nice. Okay, so Rachel, you also checked out perhaps a show with our favorite actor in the world?
Yes, I did. Jeff Goldblum, right? Yeah. He's in. I watched the show KAOS. Very good. I was definitely very interested in Matt. It was only one season that they have up right now.
What was your incentive for watching the show in the first place? Was it him or was it like the subject material?
It was the subject material for me. I was also didn't feel good this week, so I was like, I need something to just like watch to like. I've been meaning to watch this, and I know I probably won't get to watch it because we have shows to watch. So I'll just watch it because I don't know if he'd be interested in it. So I started watching. So Jeff Goldblum plays Zeus, and Zeus has an issue like he always does in every adaptation of him, is that he wants to defy his destiny, and he is so paranoid that somebody's going to overthrow him that he there's several different stories.
Jeff Goldblum plays him?
Yes, he plays
That's
Zeus.
such like a funny thing to even picture.
He does very well. Like he is very like the personification of like what Zeus was nowadays.
That's just his character.
Yeah.
That's like his character from
Thor?
Yes,
Yeah,
thank
Thor
you.
Ragnarok.
Yeah, it's very good.
She was Thor.
There's several stories in this. So you have Zeus's, you're following him being super paranoid, just like killing people because he can, like like all this stuff. Being very paranoid with the god of wine, which I always forget his name, Dionysus.
Oh, Dionysus.
He's the god of wine and like pleasure and whatever. Not everybody's there, but there's a few people who are there. Hera's there, Poseidon's there, Prometheus is there. It's very funny. Prometheus is the narrator, so you're hearing it from his point of view.
So Tony loves Greek gods. Why wouldn't he watch this?
Greek gods.
Well, it's just because there's so
Greek
many
mythology, I mean.
There's a lot of shows that we need to watch.
yeah.
So if she introduced a new one, we would never finish any of the other ones. So that's why I'm like, all right, you can
There's
go
several
watch
shows
that.
I was
Okay.
watching on the side,
Okay,
but
sorry.
this is
Didn't
one
mean to
that I finished. So there's two stories. So you have Zeus' story with Hera, Poseidon, Dionysus, and then you have the second story, which is, I mean, they're all happening at the same time. There's a prophecy, like Zeus is paranoid about that. The house will fall, and everybody has a prophecy. Even it's really cool because even the humans have prophecies. They're living like everybody still believes in gods. Like it's not like nowadays. They're living, like they would like if we still believed in that. You have Odysseus is a character, and his wife, who obviously the story is that he goes into the underworld to get his girlfriend or whatever she was, his wife, after she dies. So this is a story of both of their point of views also. So the girl's point of view is that she was going to leave him and she didn't want to be with him anymore. And then she gets hit by a car and dies. So she's in the underworld. You see, oh God, it's so deep because it's like the underworld, something's wrong is happening where she can't go through the portal because Odysseus stole her coin out of her mouth. And so she can't go into the underworld because he didn't give her, like, you know, the coins over her eyes.
Yeah, to pay
He didn't give it to her. He took it from her. And she knows that he took it from her so that she wouldn't leave him and leave him alone. So he convinces Dionysus to help him get into the underworld, where they go to like this bar in the middle of the desert. There's nothing there other than this bar. And this bar is like a competition. Whoever wins gets to go after the loved one in the underworld, and it's hosted by the Fates. And the Fates are there, and there's a few. It's really cool. The cast members. There's a lot of people you would know or wouldn't know. That's it being Zeus.
Zeus
And behind him, I think that's
in a tracksuit. Zeus in a tracksuit.
it's Hera and maybe Poseidon behind him.
I was just looking at some
But-
picture, just a picture of what you're talking about, because what sounds like a full Greek mythology show, and then you look at it and he's wearing a tracksuit,
Yeah.
and
It's very
This is
funny.
modern.
aviators.
Yeah.
It's very funny. You see how like Delulu Zeus is getting. Hera, Hera is very Hera. Like she's turned all of his affairs and all of the Greek gods. Well, yes, there is Medusa too, but she's in the underworld, so she can't turn anybody into anything.
Is it actually black and white in moments like this?
In the underworld, it is.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so in the underworld it turns black and white. And Hera's very the way Hera is. She's turned all of his lovers into bees, and she keeps them in the bee house. And that's where Dionysus's mom is, because Dionysus is like a demigod. So his mom was human, and then she turned her into a bee in front of him. So he's kind of like indebted to them to be there. Because he's like, I want my mom back. Please give me my mom. He gets very connected to Odysseus' cat named Todd. And it's a little black kitten. He carries him around like in his... He's a cool dude. He's like a very skateboardy dude. He carries him in his bag. It's a very complex show, but it's like... it's very good. It takes place in nowadays times.
Yeah.
Like I said, except that they worship God still. And it's still almost like a Greek society. Like there is a guy who's the main guy. There is the bull that's under in the maze. There is
Minotaur.
the Minotaur. There is the main guy who ruled over like the I forgot his name, but he ruled over the time when the Minotaur was there. And it has three. So there's three people in the prophecy that can take down the gods. So you're following the three people plus Zeus, figuring out, and he kind of plays a character that's kind of like a little slower. Like he's like, maybe if I do this, it won't happen. And he's planning like this, like natural disaster. He's like, if I do a natural disaster, all these people will definitely have to pray to me. Like they're definitely gonna have to. And everybody's like, are you a little crazy? It's very good. I slammed it out in less than like 3 days, 4 days. Like,
Oh wow.
They're a little bit longer episode, but you're so attached to the episode, it doesn't feel long. At least that from what I remember.
Yes, this is 8 episodes.
It's 8 episodes, so it's not super long. It's very good. Jeff Goldblum is Jeff Goldblum.
That was one of my
That's his
main
character.
questions.
He is Jeff Goldblum. He plays Jeff Goldblum.
Plays himself.
But he plays it well, and like Jeff Goldblum consults Prometheus and everything, but Prometheus got stoned. I don't know if you know, Prometheus is the guy who made humans in Greek mythology, and he
Made humans or gave them fire?
made them without Zeus's permission, and Zeus is like, okay, whatever, I'll let this one slide. And then he gave them fire without permission, and then he put him to a wall so a bird can peck at his liver for the rest of his life. So he's chained to a wall, just like the other guy's pushing a rock up when it falls down. That's Sisyphus. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like one of those. So he blips him back from the wall. You see him on the wall talking like a narrator. And he blips him back from the wall just to get his advice on stuff. He goes, "You're like my best friend. You're my best friend." Even Prometheus is like, at the end, he was like, "Best friends don't chain each other to a wall and let them sit there. That's not what a best friend does." But it's really cool how the ending starts. And they make the gods out to be like, they were human at one point. Like they kind of were. They were not immortal. They weren't immortal. They drink this water that makes them immortal. But you find out all like the stuff that happens. Persephone's in it. Hades is in it. Like it's, you hear about all the other gods, like Zeus's kids. You first seen is him calling. He goes, "Hey, Athena, it's Pop. How are you?" He's calling all of his kids. "What are you doing? I'm just bored here. You want to come over?" Like it's really, really cool.
The one scene I saw that he mentioned Hercules, right?
He did. Hercules got me this watch. That he goes, he's my favorite. And then his other kid gets him a watch, and he's like, the Jesus Christ.
Jesus is in it too.
He's in a lot.
No, I can't remember his name. I just said it.
Dionysus.
Yeah, Dionysus gets him a watch, and he was like, "But I really like this one. This one's okay." And he throws it, but then Dionysus steals his watch, and that's a big thing where he's like, "Where did I put my watch? Where did it go? I can't find my watch." And Poseidon sleeping with Hera, and like it's a very big, like a lot of characters, but it's not. You're not lost in it. It's a good comedy. It's also a comedy and serious, and it's really cool to see. I suggest a good watch. It's a good show. I was mad there was only 8 episodes. I was like, "Oh no," because it's a cliffhanger at the end. So you're.
Do you know if it's gonna come back for another season?
I'm sure it will. I'm sure it will. It was that good that I'm sure it will come back.
I feel like any show that was like it was on Netflix's like top whatever, like
top 10.
Yeah, probably if it peaked top 5, I assume that means it got enough attention to get a second season.
I'm sure it was good. Star cast. There's a lot of actors that you would know, and there's also a lot of actors that you don't know. So it's like it has a good
mix
of stuff. Yeah,
cool.
And so Zeus is just trying to defy his fate, and he's like, "If I defy fate, that means nothing will happen." And the fates are like, "Well, your destiny isn't set. So by you doing this, you could just set it." And then he doesn't listen anyways because he's he's Jeff Goldblum.
Right.
Yeah. So that's what I've watched.
Cool. That sounds very interesting and neat. I watched something. The only thing that's similar is that it's also on Netflix. It's a completely different show. It's also I talked a couple episodes about a wrestling show I was watching, WWE Rivals. I'm in the algorithm now because they released this Netflix docu-series called Mr. McMahon.
I heard about that.
I was given a suggestion to just watch the final episode. I don't know if it, I think it's supposed to be a somewhat, I don't know, neutral, just here's the representation of like his life, his career and stuff like that. But if you want to get to like the modern times of like what's going on now or like within the last couple of years, you just watch the final episode. Because I was like, I was like, he built the WWE. He's probably like a harsh businessman, became a billionaire. Like, sure, all those things about the guy. But then, like he was out of the company, and then he was back into the company. The death of, I'm sorry to say, who was my favorite wrestler of the time, and it was a double murder suicide.
Oh yeah, that's right. He killed his wife and his kid,
and then himself,
and then hung himself.
Wow.
There was someone who was on the show, but then we actually got permission after the fact to do a what do you call it, an autopsy and look at look at his brain, and they're like, he without a doubt had a CTE, and they were interviewing, Vince McMahon was being interviewed on the show up until the most recent accusations where he refused to be, they claim he refused to be in any further after that point. And he talked to, and then they asked him about it, and he was just like, I don't know, it's like if it's legit, if it's businessman in him, but he just refuses to accept, believe in CTE.
But they've had multiple autopsies showing that
on that episode he was just like, as far as I knew, he was a decent man, but some people just snap. You know, I can't say what made him snap, but some people just snap and become monsters or
Here's
something.
the thing: if nobody knows, it's when you get hit a lot in your head. Like football players get it a lot. When they get hit a lot, and
Like
it
repeated
becomes
concussions.
where your brain starts breaking down, but it also makes you extremely violent. They think maybe O.J. Simpson has it, but they don't really know if he has it till he's dead, because you can't tell until they do an autopsy on your brain to see if you have it. You become extremely violent. You start like,
O.J.
yes,
Simpson?
he's still alive.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
thought he passed
He's
away.
still, no, he's
Wait,
still
did
alive.
he? What?
Didn't he?
He's still alive. He just got
Oh.
out of jail.
I thought he died.
Yeah, I thought he recently just died.
Maybe.
Oh wait, yeah.
Like a year ago.
He
did.
So let's get to the brain.
Yeah.
He has to get. You probably have to get permission,
consent.
and then that would prove
Yeah,
that he
because
did what he did.
Like you said, he was a football player. So yeah, that's your point.
But he, a lot of football players sometimes get it. Wrestlers, any contact sport that involves you, maybe
Chronic traumatic encephalopathy.
Yeah. So, or your
Cheese
neck,
brain.
but cheese brain. So you become like a different person. Like your personality changes. Like everything changes. So
Seems
more
like
of
it's
the
like-
story. He killed his wife and his young kid
Yeah.
himself. But
Yeah, and
For like religious purposes. Wasn't there like a delusion like that where he was like
I
No,
that I don't.
it was just I don't know.
That I don't know. It could have been some kind of crazy delusional circumstance that was going on. This documentary I was watching is the Mr. McMahon docuseries on Netflix. It's just the final episode I saw. It reminded me that I had forgotten, because I was watching wrestling, of course, at that point, and they were doing this weird storyline where the Mr. McMahon character was like weird and depressed, and he walks by like every wrestler for like in this quiet scene, and then he gets in a limo and the limo explodes. And he was like killing off or like doing something weird with his own character. And then that was the week that all happened. And so he just dropped the storyline, appeared on TV being like, I had something planned with the character of Mr. McMahon's demise, but in reality this happened. And I remember this happening where they talked about they're just none of the details were out. They just knew that people died. So they're like, let's honor him and let's show some old clips. And then as that episode was airing, that's when the specifics started coming out about it, where they're like, yeah, they probably shouldn't have done that. But
They also have, not to interrupt you, Aaron Hernandez is also a football player. With that, they think he might have had that. He's in jail for life because he, I think he shot or something that I watched. He went nuts and became very violent and aggressive, and he ended up killing somebody and is in jail. For life.
but he's dead too.
He also died. Oh yeah, he killed himself.
Yeah, I
That's
was
right.
gonna say, I was like, I wanted to confirm that. Yeah, no, he's
He
died
also killed himself. Yeah.
2017.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So he also, at least they thought, I don't know if they ever did anything with it, but they also thought that he had a lot of concussions and.
But just the last episode's got the juicy details about like the screwed up weird shit that Mr. McMahon allegedly did, but also kind of like businessy of like he had left the company, but then it was almost like when he came back, it was filled with controversy. Therefore, it got lots of viewership, so it made the company more successful. But then he joined the company looking to basically sell the WWE to like a parent company or like merge. He did some sort of merger with like MMA but the difference was that instead of him having the majority of shares, he was now the 49% shareholder. So you think that like who knows if that'll play a factor, but then when the most recent accusations came out,
the baby oil,
then that 51 to 49 took over and he got boosted out of the company. So but who knows, like straight up, like he could always come back one day. So it's, if you want those juicy details, and if you watch the rest of the series, let me know how it is. Yeah,
Watch it. But
I was like, I'm all for just watching one episode of a show.
how much baby oil did he own?
Oh my god.
Enough.
That's very based off truth. It's messed up. All right. In terms of like catching up on older stuff that we talked about in the podcast before, you guys started playing or have been playing Mortal Kombat 1.
Yeah.
Because the rule was this episode you can only talk about things that end with the word 1.
Right, like Transformers 1, Mortal Kombat 1.
Pinkle pick one.
Chaos one.
Yeah, Chaos 1.
Chaos 1.
Season 1. Yeah.
Season 1.
Minus.
It's good so far.
Oh, that's it? That's all you had? I'm waiting to see when the other shoe drops with the multiverse stuff that you guys are talking about, because right now it's just Liu Kang is like, oh yeah, someone from the previous timeline must have lived on because they're trying to
here and
because they're trying to like mess with like what do you call it, Shang Tsung and Quan Chi, yep. Right? Yeah. So where like they weren't sorcerers, but now that this woman came and appeared, and she's like teaching them the stuff, so she's like trying to make the old timeline, I guess, can still continue, I guess, in this sense. But it's interesting to see like I like that they have Reptile in there now and stuff too, because I don't remember seeing Reptile in like one of these.
When Reptile came on, I go, he has no right being that hot. I was like, I'm turning directly into a lizard, and I was like, I don't like this.
I thought the lizard was even hotter.
Yeah, I didn't like the lizard. I go,
Was that some sort of awakening?
Yeah, the Reptile wing.
Yeah. Every time I go, he has no right looking like that. I go, especially when he's a lizard in real life. I went, no right.
He's just reptilian.
Look this guy up.
No, as a human form, not his ugly lizard.
Not his hotter.
I'd say
not the reptile
scales. I swear to God, you're not allowed to turn into a lizard anymore. You're done.
Oh my God.
But it's cool to see like Sub-Zero, Smoke, and Scorpion working together in the beginning.
Yeah, it's sick, dude.
But now we already have Sub-Zero starting to be like, oh, I'm gonna side.
He was like that
Because he's Bihan.
Yeah, he's behind. Yeah,
Which is also sick.
yeah.
Such a cool way to do it, but
It's interesting to see what's gonna happen with that. It looks like they played.
So, because he's got a face tattoo. Is that... Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Yeah.
Oh, it's the face tattoo.
It's my kink. I'm sorry.
Whoa.
Next week, Tony's.
Mukbangs and tattoos.
Tony Malone. Awesome.
Mukbangs and tattoos. Can't help it.
Bangs and tattoos.
I can't help it. It's my two favorite. And lizard people.
And lizard people. Oh wait, so now I gotta turn to a lizard too.
Sorry, I'm just.
Yeah, itinerary keeps growing.
yeah. How the hell are you supposed to get a face tattoo?
Sorry.
The lizard thing's easy.
I'm just not into your kind.
Oh, humans. She's not into humans, guys.
Lizard people
You have to be
confirmed.
lizard people.
Wow, dang.
All right.
But yeah, I think it's cool. And we got like that. We got the DLC because when we bought it, I guess I bought it with a pre-order of the DLC. So interested to see what's gonna happen there. It looks like they're
Scream.
yeah. So, but
Story deal.
there's a story DLC. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, we gotta play it.
Yeah. They have like I forgot what the name of the androids are. Sidetrack?
Cybot, Zorax,
Cyrax and
Cyrax.
People and a lot of names that I'm like, okay. Let's go. New people, okay. Like,
Yeah.
I know the main people, and then it's like everybody else. I'm like, I'm not going to remember that name in a week. When we play it again, I go, it's going to go right out my mind. Storage space.
There's a lot of characters. Yeah.
It's storage space. I'm
It's
like,
awesome.
that totally
Yeah, it's
happened.
really cool.
All I remember is that Melina is one of my favorite characters. So it's cool to see her before she became
the mouth girl,
the slit mouth girl.
the Harlequin mouth.
Yeah.
But I like her with the mouth too. So it's kind of cool.
And when you press like a button, they kick or something.
yeah,
Yeah.
something like
Sometimes they punch.
Punch.
Sometimes
It's all
But,
right.
but that's not important.
No.
Oh, the important thing is
that. Story.
story. You just like skip the fights and like get to the story.
Just get to the story.
Okay,
yeah.
gotcha.
I wish that was an option. I just want to watch the story.
It's just watch it on YouTube.
Yeah, you're right. We could.
You save so
already
much
bought
money.
the game.
Oh my God.
Stop
bought
doing
the game.
You don't have, but going forward, I don't know. I mean, yeah, you should support the game. Sorry. So
I'm still waiting.
You
for
keep
Tony to pay Red Dead.
doing
I'm
that.
Still waiting.
Oh,
Red
really?
Dead 2.
Yeah.
I haven't.
Red Dead 2?
We played as much as we did,
bought
and
it.
then
I'm
that
just
was
waiting
it.
for him.
Oh, you bought it.
I played it. I've
Oh,
seen the story.
I don't know if you guys have the disc version of the PS5.
We bought a I think
but it's-
digitally. It was
no,
on
we-
sale.
Oh wait, I think. Oh no, I think.
Yeah, we have the disc version of PS5, but everything we've bought so far, I think, has been digital.
Digital, to be honest.
And then you have to
they're on
delete
sale. When
everything to
they're on
download
sale.
one game.
Yep.
Which, to be fair, the disc has to just download onto your
Yep.
hard drive too.
Yep.
But
Yep.
then you
Yeah.
need the disc to play it.
And you
Yeah.
have the collector's edition disc.
And then sometimes you're talking in the game, and the machine goes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like, oh my god, it's gonna blow up.
Fly away.
I used to get so stressed with the old PlayStation before this.
Yeah.
When Tony had the fan on it, and I'm like, it's gonna explode.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That was the forming grill.
That was bad.
Very stressful. It's fine. It's cool. It's not fun. But
Okay.
it's cool.
So it sounds like you're early on into the Mortal Kombat 1
Yes.
game.
We are
Early onset Mortal Kombat.
really. into it.
I'll keep it brief because I watched this a while ago. But another thing, like I caught up on that we talked about probably almost like maybe over half a year ago, more than almost a year ago. I watched Baby Reindeer.
I still haven't watched that.
And it's since won a whole bunch of awards.
Crazy.
You guys probably.
It's about that comedian that ends up having a stalker for a while, and he's a really silly comedian, but he also gets like sexually assaulted by the person that's trying to help him become a larger comedian.
Oh,
So it's like
British, I guess.
yeah, very British, but also it's wow. It makes me feel like it's Requiem for a Dream, but serialized.
Wow.
But I mean, you guys probably did say it, but it didn't stick. At least the extra layer to the show is the show is based on a true story that is from the guy who is the showrunner, the writer, the director, and the star of the show.
Oh.
Also, I
So
heard
he's
the girl was
portraying
trying to
himself.
sue.
Oh yeah.
That girl was trying to sue who actually was.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So, yeah. No, the show was good. It didn't drag. It brought in some cool new elements and stuff that all kind of like were important to the show as a whole. So, and yeah, I think it's a mini series, totally worth checking out.
Interesting.
Yeah. All right. So start winding down on the podcast. By any chance? No. Well. So we have this dilemma now.
I know. I've heard about this dilemma.
Yeah, because we know from last episode, Alex had watched Batwoman.
Oh
You
yeah.
couldn't do Batwoman.
No optimism, no bat.
All right.
Can we just like force a
Yeah, I
fact?
watched it. Yeah.
Can
All right.
someone?
The world is round.
Let's go.
Ooh, controversial. I dare to debate
right.
that. No.
Right, hold on. Keep talking.
Okay.
All right.
So it's about to be October at the time of recordings.
Wait, do you have your
oh,
your pumpkin
how-
spice
how-
hugs ready?
How about how like isn't it messed up that October is like 8th, but but it's the 10th month because they added those Julius Caesar months, July and August.
Damn it.
Is that good fact?
That is a really good fact.
It should be Unktober.
I do like that. Bring it
What
back.
alt universe is this?
The one where it's Unktober.
That's the name of the show too. Unktober.
Welcome to Unktober.
You just gotta make too many T sounds in it. The more T sounds, the better.
Unktober.
Okay. Optimism succeeded. Oh,
All right.
she
let's
doesn't
keep
like
talking
our
about-
facts.
Yeah. Let's keep talking about Unktober.
The Totober?
Yeah. Bring it on.
I can't help that it's the world that we live in.
Yeah.
It's just Toto.
That's the penguin month.
The penguin's favorite
Just
month.
gonna watch the penguin every day.
celebrate is Totober.
Yeah, he's got one toe for every day of the month. That's my understanding.
He does. That's how he counts out the days.
Let me take my shoes off.
Do you sit to that? Oh my god, that'd be awesome if he paints a toe for each day that passes. And that's why he's like, oh, it's this month.
It's 29.
It's always orange and black. And white for a little nice candy corn.
Yeah,
Oh, candy corn. Yeah, you can't forget the candy
For
corn.
his candy
because he's
corns.
candy corn man.
Yeah.
Candy corn man. Oh, the classic candy corn man villain from Batman.
Black, orange, and white. I was like, oh, he's doing penguin colors. Candy corn.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man.
It's kind of like watching like a pro hacker in the modern days right now.
Yeah.
Like Rachel just been like getting the facts.
She's entering the matrix. Let her do her work. Mrs. Robot.
Let her cook.
Mrs. Robot.
Madame Robot.
Madame Robot. Oh. Madame
It's like a
Robot.
crook madame.
The Pinko Pick.
Oh wait, you're an actual robot? I thought you were just like that was your title because you hacked things. No, she's an actual robot.
Is that one of your alarms?
I'm gonna.
That's her downloading sound.
Yeah. Oh, that's downloaded. Oh, that was that sound.
It's halfway there.
Oh, okay.
I love the halfway download sound.
Yeah.
Oh, I think my file's almost done.
I got one.
All right. Welcome to Rachel's Optimism Corner,
All right.
everyone.
All right. Pumpkin spice lattes were invented in 2014 by a Starbucks employee.
Whoa.
Pete Dukes.
Wow. So it's their fault.
Dukes.
Right. He likes making dukes.
Yeah, give me the Duke.
Uh,
Oh, you got another one?
Yeah, you put a lot of pressure on yourself. You only had to say one.
You paid the toll.
Yeah, that's
I'll
it.
fix it.
I'm ready to go.
Yeah. She doesn't seem satisfied with
the fascinating fact about October is that there's more than 50% of the U.S. population purchases pumpkins during this month.
Purchase pumpkins.
And it generates the industry $708 million each year. Carving jack-o'-lanterns is an undeniably beloved October custom in the United States.
Wow, those are all your own words?
Yep.
Let's go.
I can smell the pumpkin.
Yeah.
Thank you. Sorry for putting you through that.
You're good.
That
It was
crunch
very
time.
stressful, but it's fun. I
Yeah.
lost a couple years of my life around there, but
That's fine. A hot dog does the same thing, I heard.
I really and a hot dog. Stop! Don't talk about hot dogs for me. Don't.
All right, you guys ready for Batwoman time?
Yeah, let's do it.
This is Batwoman season 3. We're in
Oh.
season 3, and we are in episode 2. If you guys recall, last time we found out that all of Batman's things are in the water, and people are buying and selling them on eBay. So, that's still happening. Okay. This time, Renee Montoya has come, and she's been like, "Look, Batwoman, you need to find all these other Batman things in the water, and you need to get all these artifacts back, or else criminals are going to run amok in Gotham with these new weapons." And she decides to bring Alice out of jail.
Oh my God.
She says, "What?" yeah.
That's the best.
You,
She spent a day in jail?
Yeah.
Not even?
yeah, Renee Montoya said, "You made this mess, Alice. You're going to have to help her clean it up." And she takes her out of prison.
Does she have superpowers? Like, how is she gonna help?
No, she can't do nothing.
She could hold her breath for like 10 seconds underwater.
Yeah.
10 seconds. That's a long time.
It's pretty long.
So before I forget the side plot is still with Luke Fox. He's still got his new power suit.
That doesn't work?
Yeah, but they found out this whole episode.
Yeah.
Batwoman's like, "Are you ready to fight crime with me?" He's like, "I can't. My suit still doesn't work." And this takes literally at the end of the episode. They're like, "Oh, we found out why." So the suit is detecting where he was killed and shot because remember he was killed by the racist cop.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So the suit, even though he was healed at the Desert Rose, is detecting when he has stress and trauma that he was shot, even though there's no scar or wound.
So I cannot work for a dead man.
Yeah. So
It's a psychological
actually, they explicitly say when the suit detects that the person is too hurt, it turns off.
That's how it should be.
Whoa. Imagine Tony Stark going into a battle and they're like, "Oh, you're hurt. I'm gonna just turn off.
Yeah. in the
Just
middle of
die.
this
Okay.
fight. Yeah.
That's it. I'm out.
Yeah.
No, it's not working. Nothing. No nanobots. It's off. So yeah,
wild.
that's his whole side plot, and it takes the whole episode to do. So the whole
Damn.
he does nothing the whole episode.
He goes to
Oh.
therapy?
He hits on Kate's sister, the
Fake
doctor one, yeah. And they do that she's monitoring his heartbeat, and she's like, "Your heartbeat, it's getting quicker." And then she's like, goes to like get closer to him. She's like, "And now it's getting even quicker." And then they do it like another 3 times, and it's even quicker now. And then they get
real
really
doctor.
close, and he's like, "Yeah, it's going real quick."
And now you're dead.
Yeah.
And then she's like, "Wow, that thing's rising up. What is that?" I've never seen one of those as a doctor.
That's just my pickle pick. Don't worry about it.
I really thought that character was going to be attracted to the other gender, I have to say.
Nope. No, he wants to bang the crap out of this doctor.
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
Or maybe, yeah, okay.
And yeah, all right.
Shows I know.
So, would you believe the bad guy of this episode is Killer Croc?
Whoa.
Whoa.
And may I say, in prosthetics that are okay.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
So is he the one selling all of the stuff? He's underwater. He's able to grab the stuff underwater and sell it on the eBay?
Nope, he's a little kid.
What?
Wow.
Wait. Killer Croc?
So, if I'm not mistaken, the episode starts with people skinny dipping, and he eats them both.
What?
This little kid.
Ew.
No, so when he turns into Killer Croc, he's an adult
Wait,
male.
turns into Killer Croc?
Yeah, when he turns into Killer Croc, he's an adult male. Because it turns out Killer Croc, Batman killed him or whatever and destroyed his body. And turns out even a little piece of Killer Croc can infect anybody with the same disease that Waylon Jones had. And he had a loose tooth.
Oh my God. And that's how he got the Killer Croc abilities? So
Yeah.
the cells slithered into his tooth?
Yeah, so his loose tooth, this kid came into contact with it, and now he's Killer Croc.
Wait, it's that easy to just transmit this disease?
Oh, yeah.
But then wouldn't Killer Croc have infected so many
Yeah,
people?
Killer Croc could take over the
tooth was
world.
in the water, Tony. It was in the water. The infected tooth was in the water. If it didn't infect any water supplies, nothing like that, nothing. Just this kid.
This is specifically this kid.
Yeah, just this kid.
He was chosen by the tooth.
That's
like
a good way
a
to-
Green Lantern.
Basically, yes. Basically, yeah. So Alice and Batwoman the whole episode are chasing after and trying to find out where he is, and they find this his dad. Well, sorry, before this happens, another girl gets taken by Killer Croc. All right, I have to set that up.
Okay.
Then they're running around, they're in the sewer system, whatever. They're like, "Oh my God, where is he?" And the kid's dad is like, "It's my kid, it's my boy. He was infected by the tooth. I need you guys to save him." And then they're like, "Okay, where is he?" And then he clomps them both on the head and knocks them out.
Oh. He doesn't eat them.
No, this is the dad. The dad
Oh,
doesn't
the
eat
dad
them.
does it. Okay.
No.
Okay.
So then they find the little girl, and Alice says to Batwoman, she says, "I'm never leaving anyone in a situation like I was left in again. This little girl needs to be saved because when I was there, no one saved me. So I'm not letting this little girl die because of Killer Croc. That is so effed up." And Batwoman's like, "Gotcha." So they get split up, and Alice finds the little girl, and the little girl is tied up, and they know Killer Croc's coming, so Alice is doing like that, "Oh, I gotta get out of here, run." And the little girl's like, please save me, Alice." And she goes, "I'm gonna teach you a lesson that no one taught me. No one's coming to save you." I was like, well, that's the opposite of what she just said.
Yeah.
So then Killer Croc comes to eat the little girl, and Batwoman jumps on his back and does kick on his head a little bit. Gives him a little massage. And they eventually beat Killer Croc. They save the little girl, and they bring Renee Montoya's like, "Oh, and where's your accomplice, Alice?" Which, mind you, she let out of jail.
Yeah, I was going to say.
But thankfully, Batwoman's like, "She's right over there waiting for you to bring her back to jail."
Is that true?
Yeah, she was standing over there. Standing, I was like, "Where is she?" And yeah, that's pretty much how the episode wraps up. There's no real big bad this season. I think that we're just going to keep getting other Batman villains that are stinky.
The Joker?
Oh,
Yeah,
well, we are.
stinkiest one.
I know for a fact. That's why I started watching this show. But there's also another element that happened this episode. Turns out, Ryan Wilder, Batwoman, Kate gave her all the inheritance of the Bruce Wayne fortune, and now she owns Wayne Tower.
What?
That's another thing that happens. She owns all of Bruce Wayne's things.
So what is Kate doing?
Nothing. She left. She went home.
She's gone.
Yeah, she went.
She didn't take a
Bermuda.
little money for herself?
No, she gave it all to Ryan. She said that she was a figurehead, but she was acting CEO. And then turns out Ryan's mom, her biological mom, is another bad bitch business girl. Shows up and is like, "I need to talk to Bruce Wayne." And they're like, "Well, Bruce Wayne doesn't own this place anymore. Ryan Wilder does." So she has to also be able to confront her biological mommy in this episode. And that was a lot for her to do. And she was stressed out.
Yeah, sounds stressful.
Yeah.
Your heart rate's increasing. Yeah, that's it. It's a good thing her suit doesn't shut off.
Oh my god.
Should.
Yeah.
It's a failsafe.
Oh, isn't that suit like supposed to be, didn't it get blown up or something, or wasn't blown up?
Something with kryptonite, right?
Yeah.
The kryptonite, yes.
That's
it.
Batwoman. Batwoman is allergic to kryptonite.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Everyone is.
Cool.
Wild.
Good show.
Yeah. Solid.
Yeah. How many bats out of bats and bats?
It was better than the Penguin show.
Wow. All right.
I was saying to Matt, I was like, man, I had so much more fun with Batwoman than I did with the Penguin show. I gotta admit,
Wow.
because the Penguin show was such a slog, and then the show was fast paced shit thrown at me. This is fun.
There's something to say about shows that just keep you entertained, even if it's by any means necessary.
Yeah, I mean, for them both to be an hour and one to feel like an hour and the other to feel like, oh, that was pretty fun and quick, that's crazy.
Right.
Yeah,
Crazy.
I'm noticing a trend with just what everybody's been watching so far, where like the ones where it seems almost like they try to fill the time instead of having just succinct like stories.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because like like I noticed like the KAOS show is very fast paced, and then that episode sounds very fast paced. That movie, the thriller movie, was very fast paced.
Podcast.
This podcast is fast paced.
Pretty sure it was an hour episodes for KS1.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but it felt fast paced, right? Like there's a lot of things going on.
I mean, but it fast paced is relative. Yeah.
What when I say fast
There's a
paced,
lot of
I
things
don't.
going. Okay, go on.
Yeah, when I'm saying fast paced, I mean like they don't have like these long shots of like nothing really happening, or long scenes where nothing really happens. But it sounds like there's other things that you guys have watched that have those long scenes where nothing really happens. It almost makes me feel like
Miyazaki films.
some of them, yeah. But like,
Not as pretty.
but it almost feels like they don't know how to fill the time with enough story to warrant the time that they're given. And it sounds like that's part of the problem. Like some of these things, sounds like they should have been shorter movies or shorter things that would have been more entertaining. So it's just an interesting thing to think about.
Yeah, it's also our taste, right? Because some people love that stuff.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Yo, I just love watching the scene where they walk down an entire road.
I love watching the scene where they watch paint dry.
I love watching a scene where a ghost scratches a wall. And you watch it through decades, and this changes, and he's still scratching a wall. That's my favorite thing. Or the box.
But
Yeah.
I agree. I feel like, I mean, while everyone does have their own tastes and preferences, and, you know, it might be like more artsy to do it that way or something like that, so that they win the artsy points, perhaps. I think there's ways to portray all those concepts of like, this is the world that we're in, while kind of like, you know, things
Moving
are
the
still
plot,
happening and moving, and and you're still engaged with it, instead of just be like, wow, this is a really long sequence right now.
Yeah.
I blame TikTok.
We've all become TikTok
We
kids.
now only want every scene to last like 1 to 3 minutes at most, and then we want to flip to the next scene. That way we could be like, yes, give me that.
Hey, 3-minute scenes.
Dopamine hit. You get that dopamine hit. It has to be fast.
Well, I think it's also like the just the fact that if there's a scene being shown to you in a movie, it should have some kind of impact.
Yeah.
Otherwise, what's the point of the scene? You know what I'm saying? Like,
The pickle pick.
Dwelling on the moment. I don't know. Well, I hope you learned something from talking to us about this episode, okay?
yes, thank you for talking to us.
Continue yelling at your screen.
We appreciate it.
Yeah, we hear you.
Yeah.
Criticism taken, noted, but thanks.
Yeah. More optimism, less of everything else.
Yeah, that's I would say.
All right. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Pseudo Adults.
There's the ending, Mo. Everyone has heard it.
I'm Alex.
I'm Kyle. We're Pseudo Adults.
The ending was